Hello guys. So I just want to start off with reading this quote. The most powerful sources of information come from within, and the tarot aids in coming in contact with one's higher self, which is a quotation from the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which basically is where tarot kind of originated from or was inspired by. Because this is the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is just kind of like a religion, but not really, just something in the occult. But tarot, not to be confused with tarot, which is kind of what I thought it was called before I had my very first reading in April of 2012. And basically, it's not a fortune telling. It's not about your future at all. It can be about fortune, as in fortune meaning good, but it's not about finding something good or bad, because it's not black and white. It's not yes or no, you know. And what it really is there's two different types of readings. There's a question reading and an open reading. And a question reading is something that you want a very specific answer. Is it a specific situation that you need guidance for, or you want to know something more about anything you want to be inspired by or influenced by? You got to let the cards give you something. And sometimes the cards ain't going to tell you nothing about what you're thinking about at all. And then an open reading is just basically a general situation or a broad subject. It's for things like marriage, graduation, a big transition in life. It's not anything like the question. For example, a question reading would be, how do I get along better with my mother-in-law? Well, you don't want to be too specific and say, how do I get my mother-in-law to move out of the house? Because that's a yes or no question, honest, or that's kind of a yes or no question. That's just too specific. Okay, so there are many different types of decks as far as the art and the terms that each card has, or uses, or whatever. The Rider-Waite, this is the most traditional form of the deck, the tarot cards. It's just like everything was in there. And like you see, there's the Hello Kitty decks and the cool drawings, and there's like a deck for everything. Like mine personally is, I don't want to fall out, they're kind of used, called the Tarot, the Old Path, the Magic Tarot of Female Energies and Wisdom. So I'm kind of like a feminist by definition, I suppose, so that kind of goes into me. And then I like the pictures a lot for multiple reasons. But basically, I didn't have one for a while after I actually had my first reading, because there's a big taboo about you have to get it as a gift. If you don't get it as a gift, it ain't going to work. But on the contrary, most likely if you get it as a gift, it's not going to work as much as if you picked it out yourself, because it's about your own, being your own self. It's about what inspires you, and it's about energy. So, and I got this at a place called the Gargoyle Statuary in Seattle, Washington, in the UW district. I was like super excited when I got it because I had always wanted one, and I was borrowing one. I was actually borrowing my friend's mom, something like that, and it didn't work that well. The deck, it consists of 78 cards. They are divided between the major and the minor arcana, whatever. And there's 22 major and there's 56 minor. The major arcana are the trump cards. Kind of hard to explain unless I'm doing the reading, but they just kind of tell you something a little bit more, and they kind of throw a little bit extra into your reading. And there's 22 of them. It starts with 0 and it ends at 21. They're Roman numerals. So you got the Fool, the Magician, High high priestess, the empress. I would explain what each one means, but that would take a long time because they all kind of have a big meaning to them, each one. You got the emperor and the hierophant, or the high priest. That's his name on my deck. He's the high priest. The lovers, the chariot or mastery, justice or the hermit, which is also called the wise one. I actually found a card on mine and it looked like Gandalf, and I thought it was a joke, but I realized it wasn't. So, but maybe Gandalf, maybe he was inspired by that. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune, which I think is a really popular one. Strength, the Hanged Man or the Lone Man, death, or the close. I don't want to talk about the death card, because that's another taboo or misconception, is that it's like, oh my gosh, you're going to die. And my first memory of it is watching the movie Crow, and he had a reading and he got death. And you know, obviously he died and everything. If you've seen the movie, then you know about it. But it's not about death. It's more about starting over. And I mean, I'll read it to you, what my book says about it, because you'll get a better understanding. Basically, it means change, the end of an emotional relationship, clearing out the old to make way for the new, destruction, illness, the possibility of physical death, and reincarnation. Kind of just has to be put in there. But, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's anything to do with you, though. It doesn't mean that it's going to be your new beginning. I mean, it depends on where it falls in the spread. You have temperance, or the guide, and devil, or temptation, which is in mine. And I noticed as I was making this, it's like, oh, an angel and a devil. How convenient. And then you have the tower, the star, moon, or illusion, the sun, and then you have judgment, or karma, which makes sense, in the world. And that's the major arcana. And then you have the minor, which consists of 4 different suits, just like ace, spades, clubs, hearts, whatever. You have the wand, or the rods, cups, or the cauldrons, swords, or pentacles. And each one actually have various different names for them, like pentacles, coins, swords is kind of swords a lot, and obviously wands and cups. The cards are numbered 1 to 10, and they have an ace, jack, queen, and king. Or it's the knight, the queen and the king, and the ace. Not a lot to say about them. Each card, I mean, there's 56 of them. They all have their own kind of meaning to them. Now, when you're actually getting a reading done, the main thing I think about tarot is all about energy. When I do a reading, the first thing I do is I talk about the energy. You got to be focused. You got to keep your mind open, and you have to be very neutral and not biased. Now, also, I will tell you that. I'll say, the cards are going to tell you what they're going to tell you. You need to be totally open to what they're going to say or what you're going to hear. You don't know what they're going to say, so don't worry. You can't worry whatsoever. It would be silly to worry, because some people are scared to do it because of the superstition or the unknown part of it, I think. And then I would tell them to shuffle the deck for as long as they want, however they want. And then when they're done, they put it down, cut the deck. Then I take them, and then nobody touches the cards after that but me, because that can throw the energy off. And then I would lay out the cards, like so, which is called the Celtic cross. And so they're laid out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like you can see. Number 1. Covers you. That's what you say, this card covers you. This is the atmosphere or the mood related to the inquirer's question. 2, this crosses you. These are the positive or the negative influences that are on the matter that you are getting your reading for. 3, your ideal wish. 4, the foundation or the root of the matter, whatever your reading is for. then your past, future, and then you start with 7, 8, 9, 10 cards, and the 7th card is your answer. It's not always a direct answer. Your 8 card is it's your individual influences that you have in the matter. The 9th card will describe you or your personality, something about you, and then the 10th card is the conclusion. Now, when the cards get laid out, they can be forward or reverse. So you can pull a card and it will be upside down. Some people don't keep it upside down. Some people do. And then that's called a reverse card. And it doesn't always mean the opposite of what it means when it's upright, but it has some different meaning. And I go by it. My little book tells me what it means, reverse. Okay, so imagination, interpretation. It's all open to your own interpretation. Nobody can tell you what the cards are going to tell you, and why does it matter if it's legit or not, the actual act of getting a tarot reading, because you just don't know what they're going to say. You don't know what, if I was giving you a reading, you don't know what I'm going to see in the cards, because it's open to your own interpretation, and you have to take what you want from it and grow from it.